fucking failure in the world. And when I finally embraced that, like that's when it started to come together. It started to make sense. And I was like, all these horrible, dumb things I've done, they're all going to help somebody someday.
I could use these to fail upwards.
Yeah. I mean, now I get paid to go. I mean, the TV money's nice, but the real money is in speeches. And I go to colleges and speak to kids about failing and about being, it's good. Embrace the failure. And you got to take chances or you're going to be sitting at a bank for the next 30 years. I mean,
isn't it funny? Like back in the day, that was like a real respectable, good job, and now you're like, oh God, fucking kill me.
Oh, I mean,
and David Tell used to have a bit counting other people's money. You just sit there going, car payment, rent, all day. You're just handling other people's money.
Not to change subject. You guys had, I can't remember the number of the episode, but you and your agent were talking.
Barry Cat, no awesome. Biting man.
Talking about the just doing it for yourself, and like, I mean, I'm supposed to be like giving these motivational speeches, and like that thing. I don't know. I think I texted you. I was sitting in the airport listening to it.
I believe it's called "Get a Helmet." Yeah. Is the name of the episode?
If you haven't listened to it, go back. It's like number 17 or something, I think. But it's Is that it? I know I can't remember.
No, it's higher than that. But he fucked my head up in that because he made me get off my ass and start writing.
Are you writing that show?
I said, yeah. I go because I said to him in that podcast, I go. If you, I don't want to write a movie because if I shop it for 2 years and no one buys it, I just wasted 2 years of my life.
I just did that with 2 pilots. I wasted 2 years on 2 pilots. Nothing ever came of it.
But he said to me, he sat right there and he goes, can I tell you something? Like he was disgusted with me. If you were a young comic and came in my office and said that, I would never work with you, man. And I was like, whoa. Like you're telling me if I'm coming into the game now and I let you in on the secret, like I'm not writing a fucking movie because what if it doesn't go? And he told the whole story about Nick Swartz and writing Malibu's Most Wanted, handwriting it out.
It was an awesome story.
And that's what you got to do, man. You just have to fucking write it out longhand.
That show with that female comic on NBC.
Whitney.
That's not that funny. But that wasn't the point. She wrote it. She produced it. She brought all her friends in.
You know that gets half the numbers Gary Unmarried got? Fuck.
My pilot did $1 million on a Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Of Hoarders?
No, I had my own. I had 2 separate pilots from A&E.
I don't know anything. Why?
Exactly. You don't know anything about it. Exactly.
Call your homie up.
It's done. I don't even own it anymore. It just dropped. Now I'm doing my own shit because of that podcast with you and Barry. I was like, fuck it. I'm doing my own thing, man. I'm going to go straight to YouTube. Fuck the networks, man. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm doing with the podcast. It's awesome. Like, I'm in control of this. I love it. I mean, you guys don't realize how much you motivate me.
Yeah, we're going to cut Matt Cohen out of this.
Yeah.
No.
But, well, shit, I couldn't do what all he does. But, I mean, like, for me, it's just like, y'all got me that day, and it was like, you know what, you're right. You gotta go after yourself.
Thanks, man.
Oh, my God, I was just, like, so jazzed. And so, I mean, I told you that movie I wanted to do, the Hoarder Road Trip. I want to take a bunch of hoarders on the road in a
I love
Winnebago,
that.
man. I'm in. Telling you, man, it'll be an amazing love story. You're going to have a bunch of hoarders that end up hooking up and boning and, like, having a life that they've never had before.
And it'll be amazing. I know that's boning. Don't say that in the pitch.
That's not in the pitch, but, like, they will see a world they've never seen. Think about taking a bunch of hoarders like the Grand Canyon in Vegas.
But how are you going to get them on the RV without all their shit?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll go to like the dollar store headquarters and like give them
How much luggage do you think? Serious question. How much luggage do you think a hoarder needs?
Give them one bag. Give them one bag. That's it. I give them one bag and they got to fill it. And it might take us 2 days to fill that one bag. I think it could be. The key is and I'm not a movie guy. But you gotta I think the simplicity on that is the key is just let it, I shouldn't talk, I should just let it happen and see how they react over time. And cause I've learned with the hoarders, man, that instead of, I used to tell them what to do, now I just put them in a place and just give them a little push and a little direction and they tend to do the right thing. I think it could be amazing.
Who do you think is your greatest success story from the show? Is there one?
From the show? Yeah, Roy. I loved Roy, man.
Which one was Roy?
Roy was this, really nice older black gentleman who peaked in the 70s and his house was full and he had we were pulling out all this like patchwork leather jackets,
that
trench
must have been
coats.
A badass hoard, man.
He had fro big fro pictures everywhere.
Jimi Hendrix vest.
He peaked in 79, man, and he remembered it and he would sing the whole time. And
I did not see this episode.
It didn't get a whole lot of it was middle of season 3, so people didn't watch it. But I loved it, and the guy was he changed his name. It was Roy, R-O-Y, R-O-W or R-O-Y, and he changed it to R-O-I because he thought it was beautiful. And he would just go into this whole song. He goes, Roy, because I'm beautiful. And he would like look at you and sing and like make love to you with his eyes. And he was he was like fucking Venus flytrap. Like he just loved it. And he was so passionate. And I'd never seen that passion in a hoarder before. Like so much love and so much life. And he would just sing to every woman on set, whoever was there.
Then why did he hoard?
He had lost his wife and his child.
There's always a tragedy, you say.
Tragedy. And they didn't die. They just left his ass because he was out cheating with other women.
They didn't like his songs.
They didn't like his, I guess they didn't like his song. But we started cleaning up the basement, and he was like, we thought it was this huge, like, water just gushing, right? And so me and cameraman Curtis get down. This is a guy that works with us all the time. And we start pulling boxes out, right? And it looked like the trash dump in Star Wars.
Yeah.
You know, like where the walls are coming in? Because the water is about chest high. I mean, it's about 5 feet high. And freezing, bone cold water. And we just hear this water just gushing. And so we call the city. They come, they turn off the water, and the water's still gushing. And it doesn't make sense. And we start pulling all these boxes. They're floating. And we start pulling everything out of the basement. So now we got all the trash out of the basement.
Then the monster comes out.
Yeah, well.
And pulls Luke under.
Then we realize the electricity's on.
Oh, my God.
And we're fucking standing in 5 feet of water. So we bust out of there. And we like, where's this water coming? Where's the water coming from? Turns out he had a TV on in the basement. He said, I like the sound of the TV. It puts me to sleep. We're like, how long's the TV been on? He's like, 10 years.
Did he sleep in the basement?
He slept in the upstairs right above where the TV was floating on some boxes.
It was just the
static? It was soothing.
And to you thought it was running water.
Yeah. It was, and we got out of there in the house. When we got all the boxes out, there were all the beams, all 10 beams across the basement were split and just hanging. And we didn't know what to do. So we got out. We were like, this house is too dangerous. And we said, man, your house needs to be condemned. We can't help you. And so we left.
This is on the show?
Yeah. And we left. Your house is condemned. You're never going to get back in it. We can't help you. We're sorry. We love you, but you're better off just moving into your sister's and letting this house go to foreclosure. Like that was his best option. And we said, we're sorry, man. And we recovered a few things for him. Well, I went back a couple months later. He had gotten all the brothers at his church to come in and help him. And they actually jacked the house back up. And they drained the basement. They got the house structurally sound. They got it passed. And he's working 8 hours a day every single day. And he has been for over a year now. And that house is more than half clean now.
Can you imagine?
He's awesome, dude, man.
Standing in 5 feet of water when you and cameraman Curtis look at each other and go,
cameraman Curtis is barely 5 feet.
Oh my God, the electricity.
So we thought we were dead.
Like a Scooby-Doo moment.
We thought we were dead. We looked together and we're like, oh my God. And then you see the whole floor.
But what made you think about electricity just standing around in water?
Oh, we saw a live wire hanging. And we were like, oh, yeah, we might want to look at that. He's really short, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Anytime you see an upshot on Hoarders, like you see it looking from the ground up, you know it's cameraman Curtis.
That's fantastic.
But he can get anywhere. Like he'll get on the top of a pile and take him. Our camera guys are amazing.
So big shout out to Ronnie.
Ronnie's out.
Who's out, man.
That's the other show I wanted. I want to take like 20 dudes right out of prison and just take them around the country doing good, seeing what they can do to help communities.
Yeah, you know what they can do? Halfway through Ohio, they bash your fucking skull in, and they take your RV and they leave you on the side of the road. What the fuck's the matter with you?
Those guys are good dudes, most of them.
What do you mean they're good dudes? They're in jail because they stomped people to death.
Those guys, they didn't know any better.
They're not all Ronnie.
No, they're not.
There's a lot of bad guys, like Omar from The Wire. Actually, he'd be pretty cool on a road trip. But he got shot. That's really the sign of a good show is when they kill somebody that going in you think there's no conceivable way they can lose this person. And all of a sudden,
always did that.
Omar, pow! And you go, how is this show going to go without Omar?
It makes me, some people they talk about all these other shows and that's great. Oz would always kill the best character about every 6 weeks.
Remember when they put Luke Perry on the wall?
No, Luke Perry was on there?
Reverend Cloutier. Yeah. He was the born-again preacher.
Oh, yeah.
And they just fucking put him in a wall and they built a brick wall while he was talking.
Like the Cask of Montiago. Yes.
It was really badass.
Maybe that as an old Edgar Allan Poe poem.
Yeah. And they just left him in the walls of the prison. I told my wife, like, you got to watch Oz. It's really great. And we watched all of it. We were in a hotel for a week and we had the box set. And it really is not as great as you think.
No,
you watch them all in a row. It's, first of all, people are just walking around holding pens, taking notes. Like shit you would never like it's a fucking jail and they're like playing ping pong. Yeah. And it's like, hey man, I was just gonna go outside and practice javelin. I wonder if you could help me out.
Javelin.
It's like the craziest shit. Like the guy nothing's wheelchair accessible, but somehow the wheelchair guys Somehow
No, the Ida BC or the guy would wear the little rolled out of BC.
there's
was
always
the
a guy
scariest
on
motherfucking
any prison
character.
show. There's always a guy with a hat
Sailor
that sticks
hat.
to the side of his
Yeah.
head, like it's stuck there.
Yeah,
Like going back to like Escape from Alcatraz. There's always a guy with a little paper bag hat.
yeah.
But the wheelchair guy, nothing's wheelchair accessible. Somehow he's always on a different tier.
That's
in one
true.
scene he's on the 5th floor. Another scene he's in ISO.
How did he always get around?
And then like people are just the cell doors are open, and the Mexican walks into the black like, "Hey man, do you mind if I talk to you for a second?" It's like
that would always happen.
Everyone just hang, and these are murderers. And then like they're grinding up glass in the commissary to put in people's food. Like, who has fucking access to glass?
Well, if you break it down like that, yes, you're pointing out some holes.
The mistake was watching the entire show.
Season.
There's few shows like The Wire. It's
probably the best.
It's indescribably great. But now that I'm separated from watching The Wire, which I had put in my top 3, I think it's Sopranos still is number. The Wire's way up there, but Mad Men is way up there for me.
Never watched it.
It's astoundingly great.
It's good.
It's way up there because there's so much malevolence right underneath the surface. You're like, what's going on with this guy? Don Draper, the lead guy.
Yeah. I
don't want to tell you anything because what I was just about to say about whole show.
I'm not going to watch it. Go for it.
He's not Don Draper. He's just a guy that took on that identity. So you spend the season going, who the fuck is he then?
Oh, so he's not.
He's not.
Oh.
That's his name, but it turns out like when he was in the Korean War, when they were shipping the dead body out, he just took the guy's tags and just changed his identity.
It's Principal Skinner's on Simpsons.
It's Principal Skinner on Simpsons.
He's the same thing. That's not really on Simpsons. That's not really Seymour Skinner. That's Armin Tamzarian. He was an army buddy who the real Seymour Skinner died, and he took his dog tags. Yes, that's what Mad Men got it from. No, because that happened on Simpsons like 6th season maybe. Yeah.
I would like to think the creator of Mad Men is sitting. I would like to think he didn't get that from The Simpsons.
I don't think he's listening to us. I'll be honest.
He might be.
Yeah.
Straight Matt Weiner. Yeah,
the guy from I was talking about. What's that? The one on FX about the Kings of Sons of Anarchy. I was talking about them the other day, and the guy sent me a tweet. He somehow he's listening to my podcast.
So if you're walking through your neighborhood and you see buckets in the carport.
Buckets in the carport.
What about when the garage door? I see this a lot in the Palisades in Santa Monica.
Mm.
Garage door goes up. And it is full with drawers and tools.
This is deep hoarding cleanup knowledge. Right? If the guy opens the garage, he's not a hoarder. He just doesn't give a shit. A hoarder would never open their garage. They wouldn't want you to see it.
I have.
And I know that you're talking about the guy with the like flip flops and white socks and low shorts and my wife beater. He doesn't give a shit. He's fine. He's just got a lot of stuff. He's not a hoarder.
What season are you on the Hoarders?
We just wrapped 4 tonight, like as we're speaking.
Season 5, I got your 3 million viewers a week. There's like 6 failed OCD shows.
Yeah?
They tried.
Yeah, they did.
They try so hard to do and I love the OCD shows, but apparently America doesn't really care about them as much as...
Let's film a house full of nothing, and they don't talk about anything.
But they're just scrubbing and the scrubbing and the scrubbing and the scrubbing. Let's reboot the OCD show. You show up, not with got junk trucks. You show up with a half dozen OCD people, set them loose in the hoarder's house. Let the hoarder ride the ponies from the other lady's house so they have something to do and be happy about. You got yourself.
You think so?
Yeah.
I've been saying let's let other hoarders clean other hoarders' houses and see what happens.
Fuck the hoarders. Get the OCD people.
They wouldn't go in the house. They wouldn't make it through the door.
You throw them in. Put them down the chimney like Santa Claus.
They wouldn't make it in the door.
Get in the house, honey, and start fucking cleaning.
I tried to pitch a show for your boy Segura. He doesn't know this yet, but I was trying to pitch it to his agent the other day. The kind of like this. It's called Keeping It Real with Tom Segura. He doesn't even know I want to do this yet. So this is the first he'll hear it.
Someone's gonna steal it, you know.
What the fuck? I got a million shows. If they take it, they take it.
But just make sure you have this registered before you say
don't.
This. All right, we'll say it anyway. Let's hear this idea.
It doesn't matter. Keeping It Real with Tom Segura. We blindfold Tom Segura. You like? That's it.
I'm already laughing.
So, and you just drop him into any reality show on any network. He doesn't know what it is till we pull the blindfold off, and he's got to fucking last a week on that show. So one day he walks in, he's on like dating Flavor Flav, And then the next week you throw him into.
Man, that's exactly what he would
and
say.
He's got to do it. He's got to stick with it.
Every time you take the blindfold off, he would say, and I quote, "Hey man." No matter, he'd be on Survivor with a plate of bugs.
One day it's Survivor.
Hey, man.
One day it's Housewives of Atlanta, and like Nene's fucking just shaking him, just screaming him down. And
hey
then,
man, you can charge that to the game right there.
I think
fit
it'd
in.
be
You know what? He is the
he'd find a way
perfect guy
to.
because Segura is a guy could fit in anywhere because he's so mellow and it's so.
Just did that with 2 pilots. I wasted 2 years on 2 pilots. Nothing ever came of it.
But he said to me, he sat right there and he goes, "Can I tell you something?" Like he was disgusted with me. If you were a young comic and came in my office and said that, I would never work with you, man. And I was like, whoa. Like you're telling me if I'm coming into the game now and I let you in on the secret, like I'm not writing a fucking movie because what if it doesn't go? And he told the whole story about Nick Swartzen writing Malibu's Most Wanted, handwriting it out.
That was an awesome story.
And that's what you...
And like... I mean, I'm supposed to be like giving these motivational speeches, and like that thing. I don't know. I think I texted you. I was sitting in the airport listening to it.
I believe it's called "Get a Helmet."
Yeah.
Is the name of the episode.
If you haven't listened to it, go back. It's like number 17 or something, I think. But it's Is that it? I can't remember.
No, it's higher than that. But he fucked my head up in that because he made me get off my ass and start writing.
Are you writing that show?
I said, I go because I said to him in that podcast, I go, if you. Like, I don't want to write a movie because if I shop it for 2 years and no one buys it, I just wasted 2 years of my life. I gotta do, man. You just have to fucking write it out longhand.
That show with that female comic on NBC.
Whitney.
That's not that funny. But that wasn't the point. She wrote it. She produced it. She brought all her friends in.
You know that gets half the numbers Gary Unmarried gets? Fuck.
My pilot did $1 million on a Saturday at 1 o'clock.
Of Hoarders?
No, I had my own. I had 2 separate pilots from A&E.
I don't know anything. Why?
Exactly. You don't know anything about it. Exactly.
Call your homie up.
It's done.
Day that was like a real respectable, good job, and now you're like, oh god, fucking kill me.
Oh, I mean,
and David Tell used to have a bit counting other people's money. You just sit there going, car payment, rent, all day. You're just handling other people's money.
You know, not to change subject. You guys have, I can't remember the number of the episode, but you and your agent were talking.
Barry Cat, no awesome. Biting man.
Talking about the just doing it for yourself, failure in the world. And when I finally embraced that, like that's when it started to come together. It started to make sense. And I was like, all these horrible, dumb things I've done, they're all going to help somebody someday.
I could use these to fail upwards.
Yeah. I mean, now I get paid to go. I mean, the TV money's nice, but the real money is in speeches. And I go to colleges and speak to kids about failing and about being, it's good. Embrace the failure. And you got to take chances or you're going to be sitting at a bank for the next 30 years. I mean.
Isn't it funny, like back in the